born. And that's how I think of our lives. You know, I parallel our lives like the microcosm with the macrocosm. And I compare a human life, you know, when it comes into the world, it starts out in the East. And so we start planting things that are helpful and useful to our newborn babies, you know. So we could plant catnip here and lavender here, things that would be really safe for a baby. Calendula would be good here. And then sometimes we do things that are just represent that color. And so, you know, this is the East, they use the yellow flag over here. And so I would plant some yellow things like sunflowers, maybe some coata, just because those are things that are pretty, they're visually, they represent that, this quadrant. And then I would, as you're walking in life, as you're growing older, you come through the East and you start heading towards the South. And if we take an average life about 80 years, we're going to do 20 years in each quadrant. But I mean, you know, everybody's different, and so it could be more or less. So when we start coming over here to the south side, we're entering into the place where our 20-year-old, 21, 25, these are people who, you know, serve our community as, you know, like as our warriors, serve as our strength, our muscle. And so we want to plant things here that strengthen the youth, you know, things that are going to give health to our youth. So we want to plant nettles. Nettles like some shade, so we'd want to plant it where that tree would bring some shade onto it. We could plant mints down here. And then also we could think about the colors, you know, so chrysanthemums are white. We could plant some chrysanthemums in this area. Yarrow, when our warriors get injured, they can use that to repair their bodies. And then, so here's the first 20 years, más o menos. And then from 20 to about 40, we start moving. I guess I did that wrong. 20, let's say 30 years to right here is 30 years. And then from here is our 30-year-olds to our 60 years old over here. And so we're using stuff that is actually used in that age group. They're starting to, their minds, you know, they're really going up into their heads, their mind, their mental factories. So we want to plant stuff like rosemary and ginkgo and goracola, and those grow good here. I'm growing a goracola. And some basils. And then as we get closer to the west in this direction, we're looking at our people who are actually our medicine people. And it could be doctors, nurses, anybody who takes their time to help people that their bodies are really out of they're out of harmony. You know, they're diseased. And so in this corner right here, it can be a spiritual healing, our spiritual healers, it can be our doctors, our nurses, but we want to plant stuff that helps strengthen them, or that they use in their temazcal or in their sweat lodges. So we'll plant some sage. We will plant I don't know if sweetgrass will grow here, but it's something that in some places you could grow sweetgrass. But sage, Oshab probably isn't going to grow here because of the altitude. Yerba mansa would be great here. We can use lavender. We can use lavender here again because that's used in the sweat lodge. Clary sage would grow good here. A lot more herbs. And then medicinal herbs. And then, so this is about 60, and then going up to here is about 80, 90, or 60 to our 80, 90-year-olds on this side. So these are our folks that are starting to get up in age. They're our elders, our ancestors, our elders that we want to show respect and grow things that'll help them with the last part of their life. You know, their bodies are starting to give out in different places, and so we want to grow things and we want to give them medicine that's actually going to help them to have a more comfortable ending in their life. So, you know, yerba mansa would be really beautiful here. Tobacco you can make into a medicine that's anti-inflammatory, and so they can use that as a salve on their body. Datura is another one. Datura is a heroic herb, so you have to be really careful even handling it because it can cause really huge imbalances in the body. It can kill people. So if you're going to make it, you want to be very, very careful. You want to have somebody who can guide you on how to use it, but it makes a very good anti-inflammatory medicine. So we're coming over in this direction. The other thing you can plant here would be like lychee berries. They grow here. We have we have our own species that grows here, lychee, and lychee actually helps stimulate the HGH in people's bodies, which is the human growth hormone, and so it'll help people to feel more youthful and to sustain their lives. So that'd be a good tree bush to grow in this area.
Perfect.
And then, okay, so now we started in the east and we still have a quadrant in between, you know, and as our elders, you know, they're preparing their physical beings to actually leave that physical body behind and just return back into their spiritual state, return back to that spiritual being. So in that quadrant, you're using stuff that'll help people to let go of their life. And then in the same time, you have your pregnant women who are bringing life back into the world. So that quadrant represents, you know, in the medicine wheel of life, what I call the medicine wheel of life, is us, each one of us looking at our lives. We could stand in the center, and that would be each one of us individually, and we can look to when we were born, to when we were in our youthfulness, our warrior state, and then when we start to come into our medicine state, and then our elder state, and then when we're preparing to leave. So,
thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
beautiful. Thank you.
Yes, we can. Quit!